How I improved my looks. This first picture here on the left was taken in 2020, me waiting for the school bus, getting ready to go to high school. And I can just remember so clearly at the time how like low confidence I was feeling, really just so insecure and just honestly just hated how I looked every single day and thought there was like nothing I could do about it. But it turns out I really just lacked the education in like what I should actually be doing on a day-to-day basis. Like fast forward now to 2024, it's a pretty insane transformation, I'm not gonna lie. I've honestly learned so much in this 4-year period, which I just can't wait to teach you guys, like all the lessons and learnings I've learned during this like short 4-year period. First off, why should you listen to me? Well, my name is Adrian. I've been training in the gym for 6+ years. I've experienced what it's like to be unhappy and happy with how I look, and I can assure you being unhappy and like low confident just sucks overall. It feels purposeful for me to help others strive for improvement in all areas of self-development. Finally, I'm proud of the progress I've made in my journey and feel like sharing it with you will only help accelerate your own progress. Before we get started, make sure to subscribe to get these like full-length educational guides on your homepage instead of like the shitty clickbait entertainment videos you're used to watching, in which honestly provide you with no value and you don't really get anything from it. My channel is just all about providing you guys with as much free valuable information as I can, as it feels purposeful to me. It's almost just like I wish my younger self had access to this type of content, in which would have sped up his progress so much more. My promise to you is that at the end of this video, you will not only learn what drastically helped me improve my appearance, but you'll feel more motivated to take action and implement these learnings in your own life. So there's 3 parts of this video. 1, the non-negotiables. 2, the game changers. And 3, the crabs. Quick little disclaimer. First up, no, you don't have shit genetics. You are just nowhere near your full potential. I used to constantly have the mindset, like as you can see here, oh, I was just born ugly. There's nothing I can do about it. And I used to always say, oh, I have shit genetics. You don't have shit genetics because you're not really happy with how you look in the present moment. Think of genetics as like your full potential. And if you're being like truly authentic and like not lying to yourself, be honest with yourself and ask yourself, am I doing everything I'm meant to be doing on a day-to-day basis? Or am I just engaging in bad shit like here, eating a hamburger and like complaining about bad genetics like some soy boy? No, genetics means your full potential. So no, you don't have shit genetics. Relax. Just take action on these learnings I'm about to teach you. 1, the non-negotiables. Build the foundation, control the input, and delay gratification. So with build the foundation, pretty common sense, but a lot of guys really need to like rehear this. The most bang for buck habit to be doing to just improve your overall appearance, body, and face is the gym. Stop coping, saying, oh, the gym's too hard. You're going to get the most return on investment when you can buy a gym membership and slowly but surely start going to the gym 3, 4, 5 times a week. Bro, over time, shit's going to compound so much faster. Not only will your body improve, but your whole just confidence will just improve drastically. Because think about it, when you start seeing progress with your biceps, legs, etc., you're probably going to have a bigger smile on your face every single day. You're probably just going to feel more confident in general. So, non-negotiable, build the foundation, build your physique. It will just help with everything else in your life. You'll honestly start getting more respect from other guys and obviously start attracting girls, because it's pretty rare seeing a guy who's jacked, right? Build the foundation, guys. Non-negotiable. 2, control the input. When I was 16, I used to always be like, oh, why do I have bad skin? I've got bad acne. I'm ugly. But it turns out it's because of all the shit I was eating. I was eating all this junk food, processed crap, which I literally have control over. My younger self, if I was to tell him, bro, you have control of what you eat. If you were to eat healthy, your looks are probably going to be better, right? Common sense. So control the input, control what you consume every single day, whether it be the content you're consuming. If you're consuming bad content, like just entertainment bullshit that just fries your brain mentally, you're probably not going to be your sharpest. But if you're consuming content which is educational, you're probably just going to increase and improve your education. Again, back with the diet example, if you're consuming healthy, whole feeling food, you're going to have less brain fog, your skin's going to be a whole lot better. Your mind's going to be working a whole lot sharper. So control the input. You can control so many things. You control what time you can go to sleep. You control what you can digest. You control what content you're constantly consuming. 3, delay gratification. There's delaying gratification and instant gratification. Delaying gratification is kind of hard to do in the moment, but like in the long term, that future version of yourself is only going to thank the younger you for committing that action. Easy example for this is gym. Yes, going to the gym at first is like extremely hard, but if you can stick with this habit, 2, 3 years will go by. That version of you in the long term is just going to thank the younger you for sticking with this action, because now that future you, guess what? He probably has like 10 kilos of muscle in his frame, just feeling a lot more happier and healthier on a day-to-day basis. Comparing this to like instant gratification, shit, which, yeah, feels good in the moment, but in the long run, it's only just decreasing your looks, decreasing your confidence, just deteriorating your motivation, looks, etc. Number 2, the game changers. Daily sunlight, no fap, reading. Daily sunlight. It doesn't get spoken about enough how important just going outside and getting sun exposure is. Not only will it give you a tan, which just boosts your attractiveness in general, but just getting vitamin D is only going to increase and improve your mood. When you're just happier more often, you're probably going to do harder habits more often, right? I know for me, when I'm happy, I'm probably going to be more likely to go to the gym and just do something hard in general, right? Compared to if you're just inside all day, not getting sunlight, constantly just moody and not happy with your current situation. What makes you think you're going to put in the effort and time to, like, for example, try and improve your looks or do something that seems relatively difficult slash like impossible? So getting daily sunlight, it's not only going to give you instant benefits of just giving you a tan and making you feel more confident, but the long-term benefits of you just constantly going outside and having an increased and better mood is just going to make you be more likely and inclined to engage in harder habits more often. Number two, no fap. No fap can sound like controversial and shit, but here's my argument. Let's compare two guys. A guy who doesn't fap and the guy who always faps. The guy who's always fapping every single day is just constantly engaging in a habit in which is, one, just taking his energy and motivation, right? You just feel tired after you commit this action. Two, it's almost like you just get this feeling of guilt and shame after you do it. Like, oh, I'm not good enough. I'm this and that. But you're just going to keep falling into this loop of keep repeating this pattern. It has no benefit, guys. Let's be real. Oh, it helps me relax, this, that. No, it's one of the most dopamine brain frying habits you can possibly be doing, in which is just stealing energy and motivation from the future version of yourself. If you keep doing this habit, you're probably going to be less likely to try and do something that's hard. Same thing with like sunlight. Getting sun actually increases your mood. No fap probably decreases your energy levels, right? As if we're all being honest. So really try hopping this. No, you don't have to go on like a crazy 3-4 year streak. If you're constantly reminding yourself and you're constantly aware of the fact that by doing this action is only making you feel worse about yourself, you're probably going to be a lot better off trying your best to just reduce it as much as you humanly can. No, you're not going to turn into Superman, but I can assure you there are still some benefits which you can get. When you can commit to something that's hard, it's almost like it just creates that small win in which will just give you this quick little confidence boost, which you're probably going to have a smile on your face more often, which will just make you look more attractive in general. And yes, we can argue NoFap does improve your skin slightly. I wouldn't say improves your social skills, but just the fact that it improves your confidence in the long run, now you're probably going to be more likely to do some more scary tasks like cold approaching a girl, speaking to guys, just because your brain's just not constantly overloaded and fried from this bullshit habit. And finally, we have reading. Now, you're probably thinking, how the hell does reading a book improve my attractiveness? Well, I guess it kind of depends on like what books you're reading specifically, but for a broad example, if you were to read like self-improvement books or books about like how to become a better speaker and you're like struggling with speaking, will that make you more attractive? Yes. Just think of it as the more books you read over time, the more educated you're going to become, the better you're going to be able to like spit out and like construct sentences and just be more precise and concise in the way you can speak. So reading is a no-brainer. I used to always cope and just, honestly, I used to hate reading so much just because of high school. And I don't blame most people for like just hating books, because like in high school, it kind of just kills your whole motivation to just pick up a book in the first place, right? You're reading books which you simply just have no interest in. It wasn't until I finished high school and actually started watching YouTube videos and like I started finding out about like, oh, there are actually books in which I find interesting, whether it be books about like human nature, improving your speaking skills, or just trying to just become more productive in general. When you read books you're interested in, guess what? You're halfway through the book and it just feels like your brain is expanding by the second. Your confidence is just increased. You feel like you just want to take action and implement the learnings you just learned from reading this book. I just can't argue about how important reading is for your overall self-development. And finally, number 3, the crabs. Think of these as like things in which are pulling you down and just limiting and reducing your progress, like crabs in a bucket. Things are just that are holding you down and are stopping you from becoming the best version of yourself. So we have sleep deprivation, alcohol, and negative people. Sleep deprivation, big argument here. I actually argue with my friends a lot about this. Like some of my friends argue that they're being more productive by getting less sleep and working harder. But no, long term, this is just making you sleep deprived. It's just killing and sapping your energy levels. It's making you have like those crusty eyes and eye bags and shit. Your skin's not looking as good when you're not getting 8 hours of sleep. So it's almost like the more disciplined thing to be doing would be getting your 8 hours sleep instead of saying you're more productive because you get less sleep. It's like, no, work smarter, don't work harder, prioritize your sleep. Not only will you have more motivation, your skin will be looking better, right? But energy levels are just going to be high and you're just going to be more likely and inclined to do habits in which overall improve your looks. Alcohol, pretty common sense. We all know if you're drinking alcohol, not only is it a depressant, but not only will you wake up the next day feeling a whole lot worse, it's going to obviously make you more sleep deprived. It's going to destroy your sleep quality. It's just unnecessary calories, in which in the long term, if you stick with this habit of constantly consuming alcohol, that future you, let's say 1 year from now, if you were to drink alcohol every single weekend, that future you probably is going to have like an extra 5-10 kilos of body fat on his frame. As we all know, if you have higher body fat levels, you're probably going to look a whole lot less attractive in the long term. Really try limit the alcohol. Yes, I'm not saying you have to be a robot and never drink alcohol for the rest of your life. Just be aware on the fact that every time you engage in this habit, in the long run, it probably, let's just be real, it has zero benefit. Yeah, it's giving you this fake confidence, but if you have to rely on like some external substance for like a fake source of confidence, it's like, bro, come on. Focus on your own self-development. Stop relying on this bullshit beverage, man. It's like a big occasion like your birthday. Have fun. I'm not saying never have fun, but just try your best to reduce it. And finally, we have negative people. So believe it or not, when you're hanging around like people who don't really support you, people who call you names and shit like that, you're probably just going to feel a whole lot less confident about yourself every single day, right? Like I know me, for example, when I hang around with people I don't really relate to, like we don't really have similar interests, not only am I more quiet because there's simply just not much to talk about, I just don't really feel confident or just honestly feel like I'm wasting time hanging around with people who I don't really relate to anymore. Two, if you're hanging around people who are calling you names or just making fun of what you're doing, if you're posting content, if you're doing this, if you're engaging in some habit in which they don't really do and they're just making fun of you for it, it's like overall, it's like you're just going to be in your shell. They're not pushing you to become better. Hey, you have lower confidence. You just don't feel comfortable around them. So what makes you think you're going to be more attractive in the long run if you just constantly feel insecure hanging around these people? Stop saying to yourself, oh, they're my friends, but in reality, you don't really like them that much. Like they're just making fun of you constantly. My best advice is cut them out. If you feel like they're just crabs and holding you back from you becoming the best version of yourself, cut them out, man. They're only just limiting and reducing your overall self-development and honestly, just in the long run, decreasing how you look and feel every single day. I hope this advice was valuable and that it motivates and gives you the education you need to take action in trying to improve your appearance. Leave a comment about any other methods or like things I didn't really mention about like looks maxing or something you've just been trying and you've seen results from. Leave a comment and just mention it down below. And finally, like and subscribe for more videos about self-improvement. I'll see you guys later. Bye-bye!